Hello, good day all. Welcome to Optimizing Opportunities, Power to Be. My name is Reverend Patricia Sapo, and we thank God for His mercies and His goodness once again. In our last section, we talked about enjoying your retirement, and we talked about how to handle your finances during retirement. And one of the key things we said was the fact that one needs to plan one's retirement right from the beginning of your working life. And then we talked about so many things, how to invest your monies, how you have to be very cautious. You need to know your risk appetite for certain investments and do some background checks, etc. We talked about even the kind of car you have to use, which should be fairly new or quite new so that it doesn't break down very often. And then we also talked about properties. Maybe you have to consolidate all your properties to see the ones that are idle and see how best you can optimize them. Today, briefly, we want to look at enjoying your retirement, how to live very healthy, and also what to do with your time. I will briefly want to read a few scriptures for us to underscore some of the points I'm making. And first of all, if you look at Jeremiah 33, verse 6, which says that nevertheless, I'll bring health and healing to it. I will heal my people and I'll let them enjoy abundant peace and security. So our health is very, very important to God. And if you look at 3 John chapter 1, verse 2, which says that I wish above all things that you will prosper and be in good health as your soul prospereth. Meaning that keeping healthy is extremely important. And then also, if you look at Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22, also talks about a cheerful heart is good medicine. A cheerful heart is good medicine, and good medicine will keep you very healthy. So it also talks about good health. Now, coming to time, if you look at Genesis 8:22, it says that while the earth remaineth, there is seed time and there is harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. So it also tells us that there is time for certain things to take place. And this popular scripture that we all know in Ecclesiastes 3:1-8, I'll just read 1-4 for us to see, which says that for everything there is a season and a time for every purpose, under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. So all these things underscore the fact that there are times and seasons for everything. So first of all, let us look at health. What do we do? What do we do with our health? What do we do with our health? Like the Bible said, God wishes above all things that we will prosper and be in good health as our souls prosper. There is humanity and there's divinity. And God is playing His role. He has made provision for us. But we also have a role to play in maintaining our health. When we retire and we come home, we are very likely to be inactive. We are very likely to take certain things for granted. But for the purposes of this, I want to say that we need to be very mindful and conscious about our health. We are praying that God will preserve all of us. But on our path to what do we do? So one, let us make health a priority in our lives. And then also, we should not hesitate to spend greater part of our monies on our health needs. Greater part of the monies that we have, we should not hesitate to spend that amount on our health needs. We should let our health needs constitute a significant portion of whatever budget we have. Also, too, as we are on retirement, medical checkups are very, very necessary. So I will encourage that, at the beginning of every year or a time that is okay for you, at least you do your medical checkups. If it's once a year or twice a year, that will be up to you. But we need to make the time to conduct that. When it comes to immunization, you have to be very, very mindful. One thing that I've seen in some countries, probably in African countries, is the fact that people are not immunized often when they are growing. But in certain jurisdictions, when you get to the age of 60, your GP or your doctor will call you and tell you that you are due for certain vaccinations. So I think that when we are growing old and getting to retirement and we retire, we should find out from our doctors the kind of vaccinations we need to have. These things are very, very important, especially pneumonia. At 60, I've seen a lot of people that have had pneumonia at 60, but there's a vaccination that can be taken. So we can also look at that. Also, your vitamins is very necessary for all of us to budget and get some very good vitamins to take to keep us very healthy. So it is very necessary for us to continue to keep ourselves active by having regular exercises. We all know about the 20-minute walk a day rule and 3 times a week. So we need to just make the effort. Sometimes it's difficult to get up, but I encourage all of us to make the effort to get up and then walk and then have some exercises. You can even join a club, play golf here and there. That will also keep you very, very active. And then also it's very necessary for you to, as you get yourself active, you will make yourself very happy because you even meet people. It will lessen the stress and the thinking around and any worries that you have. It will reduce your stress, reduce your sugar, your hypertension as you keep yourself very happy. I also encourage all of us to have very good people around us, people that will not put a lot of stress, emotional or psychological stress on us, people around us that we can even impact. So you move away from people that will be negative in your life. At your age, you don't need too much stress, you don't need to worry. You need people that you can impact and also be a blessing to you, even by way of nice words. And then also you need to have very positive thoughts. Think about good things. Like in Philippians 4, you think about very good things, very positive things. That will also be very, very helpful. One other thing that I also want to talk about is the fact that even in our homes, no matter how small the land is, there are things that you can do. You can do gardening and then plant herbs. Like we all know, in Africa, we have a lot of plants that are very good plants, like bitter lemon, bitter leaves, dandelion leaves. All these things are there for us that you can even, in your own backyard, you can have it, even tomatoes, plants, and then you eat very, very healthy. So these are some of the few things that I just want to share with us. Being very conscious, making our health needs very, very important, and then spending time on our health. And then also with the time that we have on our hands, the fact that we have now moved away from very active work, we are very likely, if we don't make a very deliberate effort, we will be inactive. And if we are inactive, it will pose a lot of challenges that us in. We'll be very worried. We will be anxious. We will fear. All sorts of negative thoughts will come through our minds. So it's very necessary for us to engage, and keep ourselves very active and keep our minds very, very active. So what are some of the things we can do? Now, there are so many things we can do with our time. And remember that there is time for everything. And now you have every time on your hand, every time. on your hand, every time on your hand. So what do you do? One, if you recognize the God factor, you can go even to your church and volunteer there. Even a few hours, you are connecting and you are giving back. Giving back to society is the ultimate in life. So you can go to your church and then just volunteer there. You can also go to your former place of work and also volunteer. You can also get some people that you can mentor, share ideas with. One thing that you can also do, which I will encourage pensioners or when you're in retirement to do, is to write some experiences that you've had in life. Just even a 10-page book, you just write it. It will help the younger generation that are coming. So you can also take to writing of books, even writing of articles online, in the newspapers. All these things will help you. They will keep you engaged. And then also one of the things that you can also do, you can also have you take some good vacation. That will also, holidays, that will also be very good, because you need to keep yourself very happy. You can do some gardening. That will also be very good. You can join the golf club also to make friends, influence the lives of other people. That will also be very, very useful. There are a lot of people that also have some lands and things, especially in Africa, that probably you have not even registered. I will encourage you that you can also use this time to perfect some documentation, some things that you don't even have documents on. You can also use this time also to perfect certain documents. You can also study online. You can do a lot of reading. For some people, you have not even read the Bible back to back, from the beginning to the end. You can also use this time to even read the Bible chapter by chapter. You can use this time to deepen your relationship with God. There are so many things you can also do. And before I conclude, for most of us, you come on retirement and you have not even written a will. I want to encourage you that God came that we might have life, and have it more abundantly. But it's very necessary for you, if at this time and when you come on pension or even you are still working, to also put your will in place. It will go a very long way to bring peace and harmony and understanding to your family. So you can also use that time to put everything together and put your will also together. Basically, what we are saying is that when you come on retirement, don't be idle. Don't just be glued to the television and sit behind the telly, watching telly. There is time for everything. And therefore, keep yourself active and use your time to be a blessing to those around you, be a blessing to society, and be a blessing to the kingdom of God. So I want to thank you for being part of this series. In the next series, we are looking at your purpose, your relationship with God and other people around you, and then we will bring enjoying your retirement to an end. So I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Send me emails and I'll be more than willing to respond. Remember, God has given you the power to be. Thank you very much, and God bless you.